Just wanted to acknowledge my background. I'm a Cree man from Treaty Territory, and coming to Manitoba, being raised in Manitoba, and being raised in Treaty 1, I'm always so thankful and grateful for being a part of this land and being a part of this culture. And I think that it's important for me to acknowledge that. And I'm very thankful that I can acknowledge that today. So I just want to say that about where we are today. And for today's book launch, before we get started, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. We have bathrooms. They are downstairs. If you take the escalator over there, it's just kind of wrapped around and behind. There is a door code. You can ask one of the staff when you're down there for it, and they'll let you in. And we also are going to be live streaming this for folks who can't be with us today. So I think it's really important to acknowledge that some folks don't have that capacity to come. And if mobility is an issue, we want folks to have access to this program today. So just be aware that it is being filmed. And exits you saw is where you came in. And that's kind of it for housekeeping. So on behalf of Artbeat Studio, again, welcome to our book launch for Mirrorworks. We're really excited for this, and I think we should just give a round of applause. And on that note, I would like to introduce our Executive Director, Win Fan.
Thank you, James. Hello, everybody. I'm so thrilled to see you here today for the launch of our Artbeat Annual 20. That means we've been around for 20 plus years. 21. The annual book launch is one of my favorite celebrations. It captures a full year of creativity, courage, and community through the eyes of our incredible artists and residents. At Artbeat, we believe art isn't just something we hang on the wall. It's something that heals, connects, and reminds us that we're never alone. Artbeat is proud to provide space where artists can create, connect, and heal through expression. This book brings together the incredible work of two groups of artists and residents, each sharing their own stories, styles, and journeys. Each page in this book tells a story of resilience and imagination, and it's such a joy to see how everyone's creativity has blossomed. It's a snapshot of the heart of Artbeat, the belief that art truly saves lives. I'm so proud of all of the artists. Thank you for allowing Artbeat to walk alongside you on your mental health recovery journey. It's truly an honor to be part of your growth and to witness the power of art to transform lives. And of course, thank you to staff, volunteers, and supporters to help make this kind of magic possible year after year. And so now I'd like to introduce Nick Reeves, our board chair, to say a few words.
Thank you. Nice to see all of you here today. So, as Wynn said, my name is Nick Reeves. I'm the chair of the board. I've been with the organization since September of 2019. It goes without saying that it's been incredibly rewarding working for this organization, seeing all the tremendous work that these artists do. Now, being on the board, we get a bit of a glimpse into the creative process, but we're not really working directly with the artists. It's usually at the biannuals that we see the art for the first time. I'm lucky enough to get to meet some of the artists. It really is the case that the Artist in Residency program is the heartbeat of Artbeat. When you look at the book, you're not just seeing the incredible art that these individual artists have put together, but you're also seeing the community that they're fostering when they put their art into the book itself. The alumni of the organization, they often end up working with the organization, being volunteers, staff, joining the board, and it's just getting back my notes here. So it's not just the individual work that the artists have created that you're seeing, but the inspiration that they are putting out into the world that gets other artists to apply to the program, and we're all just tremendously grateful for all
I would like to introduce our missive writers. In the book, we had some great contributions from folks who said some really powerful and beautiful words about art and mental health. And I would like to first call up Marion Cooper.
Hi everybody, so lovely to see so many of you out today and to celebrate this amazing accomplishment. And 20 years is a pretty significant milestone. And I was actually very connected to Artbeat in those early years. And so to see it thriving now and to continue in such a beautiful way is really just a real amazing thing for me to be able to know that those early days and that work and the contributions of board members and volunteers and all of the artists and residents and the staff that have been able to sustain the organization and continue to have it be a place of deep healing is really, I think, monumental. So I've been working in the mental health space for a long time, and I was the executive director for the Canadian Mental Health Association for Manitoba, Winnipeg, and I actually left that organization this summer. And it doesn't mean that I've left the world of mental health. So I'm now the CEO for the Canadian Mental Health Association for the national office. I still live in Winnipeg. But you know, when I get to think about the work that happens in this province and organizations like Artbeat, I know how special Manitoba is and the people in this province and the amazing heartbeat that we are. I love that reference. I think, I can't remember, did you say the heartbeat? No. I love that. Where the heart beats, right? Like the center of Canada. That's where we are. I wanted just to celebrate all of the artists that have made this beautiful book possible. And CMHA has been a fan of Artbeat for 2 decades now. And if you walk through the office at 930 Portage, you'll see artwork all over that office because we, and I think sometimes you forgot that it's there and you think, oh, that's great that it's still here. And I've bought many pieces. Like I'll say, that one's mine. And we'll, make an arrangement. And we've purchased many art pieces. And I saw some in here today that I'm hoping might be for sale. So such talent. And what it reminds me of, there's 2 things that I think about when I think about Artbeat. That, and having worked in mental health for as long as I have, a few more than 2 decades, I know there are many pathways to recovery and healing. And I think the creative process and the coming together and allowing your soul to express itself leads to so much deep healing. And that really inspires me. And the other thing that I think of when I think about Artbeat, and long before we were talking about the power of peer support in the broader mental health sector, Artbeat was doing that by creating a space for people to support and inspire one another. And not only does art save lives, but peer support saves lives. And I think those 2 very critical things that really create the culture and the community that Artbeat is really beautiful and powerful. And I'm so thankful that Artbeat is available in our province and that people get to explore their journey of healing and recovery through that process and through the medium of art. I just want to thank everybody for supporting this great organization and for supporting all of the artists and for creating this resource so that many more can come. And that excites me because there's a lot of challenges accessing mental health services, but it's these kinds of services that make all the difference. And so we want to make sure that you continue to thrive. And so thanks for inviting me to be a part of this celebration, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you so much, Sherry. That's beautiful. Next, I would like to call up another missive writer, Patrick. Patrick Stewart. Hi.
Hi, thanks so much. Thanks everyone for being here, especially Artbeat, the team that I have gotten an amazing opportunity to get to know over the past couple of years. We've been neighbors for years. I worked for the Independent Living Resource Center, so we were in Portage Place for about 20 years, and I think I probably began to become aware of Artbeat and be a fan just as a shopper, for gifts, for things to decorate my office. The art that is just still shows up on those walls and in that space is really incredible. And so getting to know the organization that way, but then over the past few years, especially since we've moved into the Exchange District and become closer neighbors, they really are incredible neighbors to have. So we've been able to do some workshops together on mental health topics, do some accessibility projects together, and such an open-minded, compassionate, and really dedicated team. James and Wen, Lisa, and Galdi is here, Faye, I missed some names, but thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of the work that you're doing, to support in any way that we can, and to be part of this book launch. I probably should have looked up the definition of the term missive before writing one. I heard the term before. I, for some reason, thought it meant like a love letter or something like that. So I went, oh, okay. And I might be, a little off. This is just my interpretation of a word that I don't use that often. So with that in mind, I also kind of hoped that it meant that it would be something I could just read from a sheet of paper than standing in front of a group of largely strangers at this point. So if you indulge me, and I also want to say just two things about the art. Number one, the art in this book is incredible. The first chance I've had a chance to see the book, I've been seeing some of the pieces over the year as being in their space and seeing some of it as works in progress. That's been really cool. And also a huge thanks to Artbeat for Art from the Heart this summer. I had the chance to submit some of my own art, and that was a huge thing for me. Art has been part of my journey, my healing, as it is for many people, my way of understanding the world or understanding myself. So once I got going, it was kind of the missive was a lot of fun to write. Right now I'm a little nervous about reading it and seeing that everybody's going to be, I hope that you share maybe some of these feelings. So I'm just going to read it right from the sheet. In quotation marks, thank God Studio Central will remain open during the transmogrification of Portage Place. Even the Dollarama has closed, exclamation mark. Of the many wonderful opportunities Artbeat facilitates, I think I have. Can I read it from here? I realize also that I don't necessarily have all the computer skills that I thought I did, and I think I did it myself. I was really hoping there would be a copy here this morning as I was frantically trying to find it on my computer. All right, again, from the top. Thank God Studio Central will remain open during the transmogrification of Portage Place. As you know, the Dollarama is closed. Of the many wonderful opportunities Artbeat facilitates, the drop-in space and gallery provides a vital service to the community, connecting those who connect us all, the artists. There are so many ways that making art can help those who are struggling, recovering, or searching for themselves. Simply put, art helps us access what can otherwise feel inaccessible or inexpressible, like feelings, memories, and sensations. It can absorb chaos, be built from the ashes, and maybe most importantly, it can be shared. While the media pulling on our eyeballs day and night seems determined to divide us, the visual arts allow all of us, not just the artists, a chance to reconnect with these deep, inexpressible things, like spirits and souls. They remind us how genuinely unique and unrepeatable each and every one of us is. Thank you very much for the chance to be here and to share those words, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Patrick. Well said. And next, I would actually like to call up an artist who works with Artbeat Studio and an alumni, Faye.
Welcome, everybody. I'm incredibly nervous being up here, so bear with me. Yes, I am an alumni of the program. I went through the program in 2019. And the saying that art saves lives has never been truer than for me. I was in and out of hospital and in and out of bad places when I discovered Artbeat. And I have turned my life around so much. And I've seen others since I've been through the program turn their lives around and grow from the experience of being in Artbeat. So art saves lives really means something. It's not just a saying to me and to many others out there. 21 years of being Artbeat, I think they've done a lot of good, and God. Okay, so yes, I was just going to read my missive, but I think I'll just leave it at that and say that thank you very much for the experience, and thank you all for coming tonight.
Actually, you've been such an integral part of how we work at Artbeat, so I'm really thankful you could come up today and speak. So, thank you. Next, I would like to call up Lisa.
Good afternoon, my name is Lisa Ogurek, and the reason I'm here is because for the last 5 years I've been able to take care of the Artist in Residency program. So I'm the peer support facilitator, and for January till June, and then from July to December, I work really closely with a group of artists, between 6 and 8 artists at a time. It is a closed program, which means all the artists who join us there, they go through an application process, a pretty intense intake meeting, and a few other things that they need to do before they come into the residency. It is an absolute honor for me to be in this position. I do not take that responsibility or gift lightly, and I love getting to know your hearts and minds, artists. So over the next couple minutes, I'm going to invite some of the artists who completed the residency last year. I'm going to invite them up. We'll have an artist panel. I will ask a few questions. They will respond to the ones they want to respond to. And then at the end of that, we will not have an open Q&A, but rather we will give you an opportunity to get a book, have them sign it, and tell them they've done such an incredible job. So with that, I'd like to invite the artists who are joining the artist panel to come up here. If you came a little bit later, but you still want to join, you're welcome to. If you have any kind of supports that you want to bring with you of any ages, they're also welcome to come up. Have a seat, folks. Seeing you up here, the first thing I wanted to do was to break into a song that was like, I love you. So I'm really happy to see you all here. Just want to make sure I have everyone. When, if you see any of our artists as they come up, and invite them to join here if they want to. So I have a few questions here. Ezra, I'm going to give you the first question.
Okay.
And we're going to also test this microphone. Well, I'll also ask that if and when you respond to a question, if you can please share your name. So Ezra, please tell us a bit about a creative project you have been working on.
So my name is Ezra, and a project I'm working on right now was back in 2020, I went to fashion school and had my own fashion show called Enmity. It was based off of alchemy and shadow work, because I like to study the occult and spooky stuff like that, but also just lighter stuff as well. And it's been a few years since I've done any fashion that's not for work, just like as my own project. So I'm working on my new fashion show called Enmity 2.0, which is going to be an upgraded version of when I first started studying shadow work and alchemy, to when I started integrating the shadow aspects into my personality, into my life, and incorporating alchemy in my everyday activities. So it's just going to be another one of those like darker gothy looks, but yeah, it's just something I'm really excited to work on again. It's probably going to be showcasing in fall to sometime in October, November next year. Yeah.
Thanks, Ezra. I know we're all gonna want to clap and cheer and jump when everyone says something. I'm gonna say, wait till we're done the arts panel. Does anyone else want to respond to that before I ask the next question? Okay. What kind of creative spaces or projects have you been, I'm not gonna read this question. What was one of the things you've learned about yourself or community during your time in residency or after?
Hello, everybody. Something I've learned during residency and afterwards is that even though I have a lot of anxieties, I think I'm still very connected with others that I'm a lot more capable of than I thought. And that I have more desire to pursue than I expected to.
was one of the things you've learned about yourself or community during lessons?
I learned that, well, right before I found out about Artbeat, I found out about it while I was hospitalized, and I lost a huge community. So, and I thought I wasn't going to rebuild it until I attended Artbeat, and then I was able to like open up to people again, and then rebuild my community from there on out. And then just learning to get out of my shell a lot more. This definitely brought me out of my shell. It was terrifying at first, but it had paranoid thoughts here and there about it, but I overcame them, and so I was able to build up the strength again to have a community and be a part of something again.
Hey Frank, do you want to come around here? Does anyone else want to respond to that question before we move on to the next one? What kind of words or advice do you have for creative people who say, well, that's cool, but I'm not an artist? And the reason, Hero's going to answer this one, but the reason I'm asking this one, because every single beginning of the residency, every single beginning, the majority, if not all artists say, I don't think I belong here, I'm not really an artist, I'm not good enough to be here, look at everyone else. Like, that is the number one discouraging thing that folks tell themselves. And so, by the end, I don't hear it anymore, and I want you to tell us, encourage us.
So yeah, I didn't consider myself an artist when I started at Artbeat. I was just kind of like, I do art for fun, it's not anything serious. And I think that people take themselves too seriously. Art should be fun and creative and disastrous at times. Just having fun is the point of it. You don't have to create art for it to be award-winning. You don't have to create art for it to be something that is the best of the best. You don't have to be the next Picasso or whoever. You just have to be you and create art that is yours, and people will find you and enjoy yourself, or just create it for yourself, and that is meaningful in and of itself.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to respond to that question before?
Like I'm not an artist, or I'm not as good, but you can only get better by trying. And yeah, sometimes I take it too seriously, and like I've taken a break from working on an art piece, and it's hard to get back into it sometimes. But it's good just to have fun with it and see what goes.
I would say, encourage yourself and others to do art, do better each and every day, and don't give up.
I know Lisa said that people don't say it anymore at the end of residency, but I think artists is allowed to sort of fight on more than it isn't something that I'm so comfortable having any relation to with myself. But I want some things so we do. And if you want to make things, or if there's something you want to express, you can and you should, and you don't have to tell all sorts of words, and you don't have to have pressure. It doesn't have to be okay. You can just do what you want to do, and you don't have to share with anybody. You can just make it for yourself. So if you do share with people, part of what I've also learned about community since residency is that we're a lot more receptive.
Thanks. Thanks for calling me out too.
So creation is just like a fundamental, basic human thing that we do. We create systems, we create art, we create programs, we create a lot of things, and a lot of it is your perception of what you're creating. If you perceive it to be if you perceive it to have more depth to it, it can be considered art in itself. It's just more of a perception thing, I find.
Thank you. I think I'm going to ask one more question, even though I have a lot more here. And then what I'll do is open it up to you all if you do want to share anything. If you want to pick up on one of the other questions that I shared in that email, you're welcome to. But I'm just going to pick another one that I think is okay. Who, what, or where inspires you to make art? Or express yourself creatively?
I just feel like being queer, indigenous, and I have all of these barriers up on me, and I just naturally like to rebel, and I like to prove people wrong. So doing art is a form of rebellion to me. So just the idea that I'm creating something in a system that was designed to falter me is what keeps me going and keeps me creative and keeps me keeps the passion alive in me.
I actually am the inverse of that, I guess, is that I create for myself first of all, but also to express a feeling about things, and often those are tied to other people. So I write poetry for my friends, for my family, for the things that I'm experiencing with other people. And I think the thing that motivates me to create is those deep emotions.
Something to connect with people or to find free joy but I don't want to be alone. I don't want other people to be alone, so I want to make things to find myself, to find others, and for others to find me. And just to make things that I enjoy. But also, this is where I'm seeing other people's art. And what people are exploring, what they're expressing, and how they're presenting it to the world, and all the amazing things that people are doing locally, within Artbeat, or different local galleries, or even online. But it's any way that I can take it in. People are doing so many incredible, amazing things. Just so many cool videos that there's just so much to offer.
I get more when I push myself and others, and have others on a journey.
I create art sometimes just, not good at speaking, sometimes just to have a calm moment to myself, sometimes for joy, inspired by nature and connection, and just experimenting and being creative.
Thanks, y'all. We're going to have one last thing of closing remarks. Don't have to say something. Say a lot. It's your call. At the end of that, we will applaud you, and then we're going to give the mic to Hero, who's going to share one or two readings that they've done, because the residency hosts both visual artists, but as well as writers, filmmakers, some forms of musicians, and so Hero's going to share some of their stuff with us after we finish closing remarks. So maybe let's start with Jamie, and then move our way that way.
I'd like to, express my gratitude to Artbeat. Artbeat has had a significant impact on my life, especially at the point of where I was at when I came to the program. It's a safe space for me to explore being vulnerable and for me to promote that I had previously in my life.
want to express gratitude because when I was in the hospital, they told me that I wouldn't be where I am now for another 2 to 3 years after leaving the hospital. And I think attending a program like Artbeat is what definitely shot me forward in my life and gave me the stable grounds and the stable connections and just realigned myself as a whole to be able to make it further than I was predicted to be right now. There's a lot going on in my life that I'm really grateful for, and it's definitely because of Artbeat that shot that forward in my life. So yeah.
I also want to just say thank you to Artbeat, for all the staff, for the time that we had at the studio. It was definitely life-changing. And I also want to express that there are people that can't be here with us today for various reasons that were impactful to us, and just giving gratitude to those people as well. Yeah.
Feeling a little emotional because my brother told me about Artbeat. He passed away while I was in the residency, and that was really difficult, but I was able to make a few art pieces while thinking of him, and I think helped me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Shannon.
Let's all applaud you. Your knowledge, your experience with us today. Please stay seated up here. We're going to hand over the floor to Hero as they share 1 or 2 writings, and then what we'll do is tell you all to go back, and then we'll read out your names, all the artists who graduated one at a time, back up to give you a book and say, good job. Hero, it's up to you.
So I've two pieces today. The first one is from a book that I recently published called Poetry at the End. That is about my mom and her declining health. And so this poem is, your grandson will never get to know how much you loved him. I miss you. How do I keep your memory alive? I miss you. Daisies growing in the field, and I miss you. Flowers picked just for you. I miss you. It would have made you so happy. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. And the second poem is from my book, Manic Pixie Daydream, which was published during the residency, and this one is about healing. Healing is not a linear path, days and nights, backtracking to places long gone. It's failure and trying again. There's pain and suffering, but there's still joy, and finally, and family and love. Crying with those that hold you close, knowing that everything will heal eventually. Even if the wounds sometimes reopen, there's hope to move forward again. Always hope, always community, always love. So give yourself grace and guidance and gratitude and love.
can go back to your seats, and then I'm going to call you up one at a time. And Wynn is going to gift you your books that you made. At the residency, we hold a lot of tears, and we love them, and they're always welcome. At the residency, we hold a lot of laughter and a lot of nonsense, and we welcome and love it all. So thank you for sharing those parts of yourself with us today. So I'm going to read the names of all of the folks who completed the residency last year. Some of them are not with us, but I'm going to ask that you still clap for them, and we'll kind of send them a piece of our heart wherever they are. Bijou Monk Marcoux. Daria Tretiak. Frank Yellowquill. Jamie Saipaj. We also have a really, really important community member who wasn't able to make it here tonight, mostly because Indigo wouldn't let them. And their name is Marshall, and they are a sweet little dog who was in the residency like 3 to 5 times a week during Jamie's residency. So we'd like to say we understand Indigo, and at the same time, Marshall, we really wish you were here. So he's not here, but let's give him a round of applause. Jenna Maple. Kayla Martinez Morales. Ezra Dawn. G. Cola. Hero Doucette. Elide. Callie Marie. And lastly, Shannon Druitt. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to ask James to come up and say goodbye.
Right on. Thank you, Lisa. That was amazing. Thank you to the artists who were up here and were vulnerable and really spoke your truth about your creative practice. And that's like what it all comes down to. So I would like to invite the artists back up who are here. We are going to encourage folks to purchase a book if you'd like. You can purchase it downstairs. The books are $25. If you purchase a book, the artist can sign it for you. As well, the artists are here to answer any questions if you have about maybe some of their process.